Yo, what is up guys, welcome back to another video. So today we have week 1 of the Eternity of Pain, and we have this Crossbones boss fight, and this is actually a pretty hard fight. So we have 2 objectives. If you're a Thronebreaker, you have 2 objectives, and if you are Paragon, you have 3. So the first 2 objectives, if you are Thronebreaker or below, you have to do this with an extra large champion and then with a villain champion. And if you are Paragon, you have an extra objective, which means an extra point this week, and you gotta do it with a Mystic champion. But let's get into this guy's nodes first, because his nodes are pretty annoying. So the first node he has is Biohazard. So right off the start, you need a Bleed Immune, and then ideally a Poison Immune as well, just so you can hit the block, bait specials easier, and get openings and that kind of stuff. And then he's got Vital Strike, so when he strikes your block, he regens 500% of the damage dealt. So if you parry him and like he hits you for like 300, he's not gonna heal too much. He's gonna heal like 1500 health. It's not too much, but if you do a blocked hit like I did there, where he had like 8 Furies, that was like a 10k healing. So watch out for that. And then he's got Bane, of course, and I think he's got like 600k health. So the more health they have, the more damage you will take from Bane. So that makes this fight pretty annoying and pretty AI dependent, because as you can see now, I cannot get an opening, but luckily I intercepted there. And you can see I lost a lot of health. And he's got like 68%. If you had 100 there, 100% health, I would tick down to like 20% health. So you gotta be pretty aggressive, deal as much damage as you can, and try and intercept, get some openings, or maybe save up some special attacks so you can transfer that Bane. And then also he has another node which is called Inflated Ego. So he takes 100% less damage unless he has 3 buffs. So Crossbones gain buffs with his SP1, and he gains 1 if he's fighting a villain champion, and then he gains 2 if he fights a villain, or sorry, a hero champion. So if you're using a hero champion, he's gonna gain 2 Furies with the SP1, so you would need 1 more to do damage. And then if he's fighting a villain, it's kind of rough because he's only getting 1 after the special 1. So ideally, when you're using a villain, you want someone that can apply debuffs. So yeah, it's pretty weird how he has to do, like he has to have the buffs, but that's how it works. And then the other node, he's just got extended buff and debuff duration by 150%. So here we are using Nimrod. He's both Poison Immune and Bleed Immune, and he is my villain here. And I really like Nimrod, just because like his armor ups, if you like parry a little bit, you're not gonna take too much damage. And then also, he's got the Energizer of the SP1, so you can build up to specials really quickly and melt him down really fast. And plus, his shocks on the SP2 are passive, so he cannot shrug them off. And then one of the greatest things is that if we bait special attacks from Crossbones, he either gets a power drain debuff or a cowardice debuff, and he can purify that, and he most likely will, and that's how he will gain those Furies, by SP1s and by that. And yeah man, he's taking down now the Bane, and we're gonna take some damage here. Oh, actually I utilized the Unstoppable there. So there he had 2 debuffs, he purified 1, he has 6 Fury, so we can deal damage. And then I'm like, 1 special 2 is gonna do it. So we just gotta play safe, bait those specials. I think I'm gonna do it for another intercept right here. And it didn't work. So yeah, this can happen as well. We got an intercept right there. And with the shocks, this should do it. So we were running Suicides, 198 hit fight. We took a lot of damage from recoil for sure. Like, it was definitely at least like 60% health from recoil, or 50. But yeah, we did it with Nimrod, so not too bad. And then we are actually using a 5-star Warlock here. So Warlock is gonna be my XL champion. And by the way, I don't know how Warlock counts as an XL champion and Nimrod is not an XL champion, but that's fine, I guess. So yeah, Warlock is gonna be my XL champion. And Warlock, I really like Warlock because I don't know, I really like using him. He feels very smooth to play for some reason. And yeah, he's very comfortable. And also, you will have him infected most of the time. So if you block, he's not gonna regen from that node. if you block like accidentally, or if you want to parry, gets like an opening. He's not gonna heal with the infection. And then also he's got some armor breaks on the SP2. He's got a shock on the SP1 if you like to apply a debuff with the SP1. I'm going SP2 just because I'm running suicides. And we have our 5s there, so we really have to throw our SP2s for the armor breaks and stuff. But yeah, but this fight is pretty AI dependent, because like if they don't throw the special and there's Bane on you, it's pretty annoying. So yeah, and Crossbones, sometimes he doesn't throw it really quickly. So right there, 2 ticks, that was like 2.6k health. And we have a 5-star, and I'm not using any boost, by the way. Not even a power boost or something. So yeah, this is completely unboosted just with suicides. And you can see he's getting so many furies. Especially because Warlock is not a villain. I believe he's not a villain. Let me double check. Yeah, Warlock is not a villain. So with SP1, if you pay attention, he gains 2 furies. So that's great. He's definitely gonna have a lot of furies, so we can deal our damage. But you can see that this fight is pretty slow. I think it's gonna last like 6 minutes. It's gonna be like over 300k hits. But it's definitely possible with a 5-star, because I'm gonna solo this fight. And yeah, just gotta be a little bit lucky, and I don't know, bait specials. Pretty good, I don't know. But yeah, this definitely wasn't my first try. I definitely died a couple times. Also, a cool trick you can do if you want the opponent to get some furies, you can actually hit him with the block if you are poison immune, so that you trigger the overrun, which is going to give him 2 or 3 furies, depending if you're a hero or a villain. And yeah, also, if you do not have poison immunity, mostly I would go for light intercept, because if he blocks on a medium intercept and you don't have poison immunity, 1 poison is enough to kill you 100%. So you will see, even with poison immunity here, I sometimes go for like light intercepts because like it's safer. But especially if you don't have poison immunity, you really want to do light intercepts, because if he blocks, you're gonna tick down from biohazard, because this guy has so much attack. And those shooters as well. Perfect Bane transfer right there. He's got 48%. We're halfway done. 179 hits. And you can see, man, we're only like intercepting. We're not taking any block damage. Because like I cannot afford to block a hit. We'll have recoil, and also what if something happens with Bane? Right there. Luckily he threw that. Tried that 4 times. And luckily he threw that. The infection definitely helps with the damage. The armor breaks. Over 200 hits now. And then I'm not going to show you a fight with like a Mystic, because I'm not Thronebreaker. Or sorry, I am Thronebreaker. I am not Paragon. So I'm not going to do like a Mystic fight, because I don't get any rewards. But I will... Well, we're going to check out like the best counters you can use for Mystics. And yeah, all of them. All of the objectives. Villain and Excel after this fight. Because, dude, the rewards, they are pretty spicy. Like, you can get like a Nexus. And by the way, if you're Thronebreaker, you can only get 17 points, which is pretty good. You get some pretty good materials for tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic. And the cool thing is that we still can get the Nexus. So I'm fine with that. So yeah. And if you are Paragon, you can get like, I think, a fully formed tier 3 alpha and fully formed tier 6 basic. So not a big difference, honestly. I quite like that. So yeah, you really want to do all the objectives. Even if you use revive, like, you don't have to solo. You can use revives as well. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that in just a second. He's got 22% health. I have 8%, so I really don't want to throw a special to here, because I would be at 3% health, and then maybe 1 tick from Bane kills me. I'm not gonna have time to react, so I'm just gonna go for SP3, try and have an infection on this guy. And maybe we can heal up a bit. And also, one cool trick you can do is when you see that Legion or that Bane, like when you have to do a transfer, when it's gonna get transferred to you and you have to transfer it, and you're doing a combo, if it's close to expiring, try and stall your combo, like do medium, wait, light. So yeah, stall your combo a little bit so you can transfer it with this combo, because what if your next initiative doesn't work? Yeah, I do that quite a lot in this fight and the Nimrod fight. I don't know if you can notice that though. Right here, it's got 8% with over 300k, or sorry, 300 hits, not k. And he's got 5%. We just need one more special. There we go. He threw it, and then hopefully he throws the other one. He throws it right away, and then 1 SP2 is gonna do that, right? And boom, Warlock, 5-star Warlock for the solo. Pretty proud about that. So yeah, man, like, we got the objectives done. Now let's see the best options for this villain's objective. So anyone that is not bleed immune is not good. So Apocalypse can be bleed immune. If you wait like 6 seconds, 7 seconds to get a bleed on you, you can be bleed immune. But Apocalypse was pretty tough. I know he cannot, like, Crossbones cannot purify the stuns and stuff. But the thing is, you want him to have buffs. And because, like, Apocalypse is a villain, he only gains 1 from the SP1. So it's gonna be really hard for you to be like 3 special ones without 1 Fury expiring. And since your debuffs cannot get purified, he's not gonna get any Furies from your debuffs. So I wouldn't say Apocalypse is a good option for this. It's gonna be very hard. And also he's not poison immune, so he cannot hit the block, otherwise you die. And then we have Dormammu. Dormammu actually is one of those champions that you can get all 3 objectives completed if you do that. But Dormammu is gonna be kind of tough because most of his damage comes from like do the heal attack and then bait special to get for him to get the 100 charges, and then you can detonate that. But even still, it's not a lot of damage. And in this fight, you don't want to block, otherwise he's gonna heal. So if you're a really good player with that Bane transfer, you can definitely try Dormammu because he's got a regen as well. But it is gonna be a very, very long fight. So I mean, good luck with that if you got a Raptor Dormammu or something. But yeah, definitely doable, but it's gonna be a while. Definitely need some luck with the Bane transfers. And then we have Ghost. Ghost has the same problem as Apocalypse. So Ghost can purify bleeds and poisons and turn them into Furies, but she cannot apply any debuffs on the Crossbones. You can only parry, but it doesn't really help you. And then you will need 3 buffs on Crossbones to deal damage. I tried Ghost, and I think I got Crossbones down to like 50%, but that was like after 10 tries. It's pretty tough to do. And plus I have a 5-star as well. And then no one here is bleed immune. Killmonger is here, you cannot see him. King Groot. King Groot is not bad. He's bleed immune. And he works great for those longer fights because your Furies are getting stronger and stronger. And he also has some debuffs with the SP1 that like can get purified and turn into Furies so you can deal damage. But it is gonna be a while with King Groot as well, because his damage is not that great, right? And also King Groot has like a regen, so if something goes wrong with Bane, it can definitely work. But it is gonna be a very long fight as well. And then we have MCOC, or actually we have Magneto. So Magneto can actually work because he's gonna be metal. If you have Coagulate, he's not gonna take any damage. Coagulate is a master that you take less damage from bleed effects. And because Magneto has resistance to bleed, if you have the resistance of Magneto's and then Coagulate, he's not gonna take any bleed damage. So it could work, but it's gonna be really hard. And then MCOC. MCOC is one of those champions as well, like Dormammu, that can do all 3 objectives if you do the fight, but it is gonna be very, very tough, man. Because MCOC doesn't have too much damage, and I believe he's not poison immune, so you cannot hit the block. He's got those staggers on the basic attacks, so Crossbones will probably purify them and turn them into Furies, but it is gonna be like a pretty tough fight. And then we have Mole Man. Mole Man actually purifies bleeds, but then if he gets to his frenzy, he's gonna die. So Mole Man is actually a glass cannon champion that you can actually use and maybe do the fight in like 2 revives if you have a better option. So yeah, he's not too bad. Definitely cannot solo though. And then Nimrod is the one we used. Very, very cool champion. Omega Red is probably one of the best champions, even if you don't have suicides. With Coagulate, you're not gonna take any damage, and you're gonna have constantly the death field up. So you would just need like the buffs on Crossbones so you can deal damage. But yeah, he's definitely one of the best options for this. And then who else is bleed immune? Sauron is the same thing as Magneto. If you have Coagulate, he's not gonna take any bleed damage, but it is gonna take a while for him as well. He's got class advantage actually, so he's not too bad. Sentinel is definitely one of the top options as well. Both bleed and poison immune, not bad. It is gonna be a long fight as well. Terrax, I tried Terrax. He's not the greatest. He's only bleed immune, so it's rough, man. Ideally, you need someone with poison immunity because you need to hit the block, man. Because like you want to bait those special attacks, and then if they don't throw him, you're just dying from Bane. And then Ultron. Ultron is for sure top 3 options. He's got the regen, he's got the armor ups on his parries, he's got those bleeds and basic attacks, which Crossbones can purify. Definitely one of the best options, for sure. Then we move over to the Excel champions. So for Excel champions, you can see Apocalypse is a villain and an Excel champion. So if you can do it, well, you got 2 objectives done. But like I said, it's gonna be tough. And then there's Dormammu, Dragon Man. Dragon Man is an Excel champion. Very good option because he's bleed and poison immune, and he does a lot of damage if you get him in the corner. He's got some debuffs like heal attack and stuff, and you can definitely get some Furies on Crossbones so you can deal damage. Not a bad option. I like him. And then there's King Groot as well. Mangog, like I said, Mole Man. And then there's not too many good champions like Sentinel again. Like if you do it with Sentinel, you get both the villain and the XL. And then the thing is like bleed immune, but it's gonna take so much time with the class advantage and all that. And then there's Warlock. I think Warlock is by far the best option because like he's very, very, I don't know, he's very comfortable to play for me. And he's also got that heal block from the infection. So if you block, he's not gonna heal. He's got some debuffs as well. And lastly, let's move over to the Mystic objective. Like I said, I have not done that because I don't have a ranked up champion, and also I'm not getting any rewards because I'm not Paragon. So the only bleed immune Mystics, we have Claire. Claire is not gonna work. That's my only ranked up champion. She's not gonna work because she has buff immunity on PSP2, and if you buff immune Crossbones, you're not dealing any damage. So you're not gonna have any healing, and it is gonna be a rough fight. You can apply some debuffs so that you get Furies, but it can be doable, but I think it's rough, especially because she cannot be bleed immune and poison immune at the same time. But yeah, she would be my only option. Dormammu, I have a rank 2 Dormammu, but like I said, Dormammu, if you can do that, you can complete 3 objectives. And then Dragon Man, if you do that again, 2 objectives done. Ghost Rider is bleed immune, but he doesn't have the damage for this, so definitely not. And then we got Man-Thing, he's bleed immune. Again, I don't think he's gonna be good. Maybe he nullifies as well the buffs, so it's gonna be pretty tough. Mangog, again, if you do it, 3 objectives. And then the other one who is bleed immune, there was one more, I think. No, I think that's it. So you definitely don't have a lot of options for Mystics, man. Like, if you were to do it with someone that's Mystic, the best options I would say are Dragon Man, and then like Dormammu, and then Mangog. And if you do that, if you do the Mystic one with Dormammu or Mangog, you instantly get all of those objectives done. And then if you do Dragon Man, which is definitely the best Mystic, you get 2 of them. So I would do the Mangog, and then you would have I think the villain, is he an XL? Okay, he's an XL, and you would have the villains one. And with the villains one, you can easily do it with Warlock. So yeah, that's what I would do. But yeah, guys, hopefully this video helps you complete all of the objectives. It was pretty fun, man. Like, Summer of Pain was definitely one of the best events ever. And I cannot wait for the rewards of the Eternity of Pain. Can't wait to open that Nexus, man. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.